Right, a very good afternoon, and welcome back to the second broadcast of today. It's slightly sunny, so hence my glass is cold, sunny. That is British weather. Now back to be straight to business. As mentioned earlier in my broadcast today, the judge eventually finished a summing up. It was quite a lengthy morning. 12:28 exactly, the jurors were sent out. So a lot of tourists going up and down here. Here is close to Sodok Crown Court is just close by the Tower Bridge. So visitors, you might hear sign there up and down. But right here in front of Sodok Crown Court, the jury is out officially, as it is said. The jury is out. It's a very, very tense moment, and it's going to be a very, very long, anxious, almost sleepless night for the defendants, even and their defense teams. But the jurors have been sent out. 4 men, 8 women to decide this case. The judge sent them out just before 12:30, 12:28 in particular, after starting a summation from morning, from just around 10:30. The judge took them through count three, count eight, count six, the remaining count, which she didn't touch on Friday. She eventually arrived at the last stop. And like in a boxing match, the the scorecards have gone. The jury, the judges in a boxing match decide. The referee here looks like the judge. The jury is out in this case. 4 men, 8 women are the ones now that the fate of Diezani, Alice Madueke, Olatimbo Ayinde, and Diezani's senior brother, Bishop Doye Agama, their fate now hangs in the hand of the 12 jurors that the judge just sent out. And in sending them out, she told them, "You are not under any pressure of time. Take as much time as you do. If they don't reach a verdict today, which is very, very unlikely in a complex case like this, they'll come back to court, and then they'll be sent home and then resume tomorrow. But now, from now on, the clock has started to tick. When you hear that the jury is out, this is the official one. This is the real one. The jurors have been sent out. It is really, it was tense there while the jurors were being sent out. Before they were sent out, the judge was making a final point. Diezani was taking note. Olatimbo and didn't seem to care. She was just clasping her hand. She looks relaxed. During the break, the tea break, we had a tea break at around after 12. Diezani was, really relaxed, chatting to one of our support teams. And I couldn't really figure out where Olatimbo is. Bishop is joining us from Manchester, so I didn't really get to see him. He didn't come up on the screen, but the jury is out. When you hear that as a byword or as as an idiom or whatsoever, this is the real case. When you say jury is out, this case that started in 2015 with the arrest of Diezani by the National Crime Agency officers, now taking more than 10 years to come to trial after 17 weeks. This is the beginning of 17th week. Now the jury is out. It's not in the hand of the judge. The judge told them on Friday when she started summing up, "I am not the one to decide this case. You are the ones to decide." And like I said, 4 men, 8 women make up the 12 members of the jury. They have been sent out. When it is 1 o'clock, just a few minutes to 1, they'll go on break. If they require anything, they will send a note through the jury bailiff. Before they were sent out, the jury bailiff, read the oath to them again. They are to take as much time as they like. The judge told them they are not under any pressure. There is no timetable that you must return your verdict in a particular time. Take as much time as you like. If you can measure anybody's blood pressure there, it is going to be at the highest. Even the defense team, they've been very, very supportive of the three defendants, and they've been very, very close. Even though I'm not going to be able to tell you what happened during the first tea break, there was chipping in. The defense team, they still had things to chip in. Even before the jurors came in this morning, there was still last-minute submissions, which needed the judge's attention. Yeah, but I am not allowed to say that now because this trial is not over. But the jury is out. 4 men, 8 women are to decide where Diezani, Olatimbo, and Bishop will spend the next couple of months or years of their lives. The jurors are out. During break, in about a few minutes, they are entitled to go on break. But from now until this trial is over, it is dependent on the jury. I do have a feeling they might reach a verdict this week, but we don't know. But the judge has told them, take as much time as you like. And the judge has told them also, this case is not in my hands. It is for you to decide. 4 men, 8 women make up the 12 jurors that have been sitting for this case since January 26 when it started. They have been sent out now. So now we are going to be in the court apart from break time, because this is what happens now when the jurors are sent out, is that anytime they reach a verdict, of course, I reckon that before reaching a verdict, they might have some questions. They will send a note. They're in the jury room. The index of the bundle have been taken with them. They'll be given to them index of audio recordings before they were sent out. The judge listed them that they'll be made available on the iPad. Remember, they have a combination of technology and hard fact jury bundle to consider. But everything they need, any clarification they need, the judge has said they should not hesitate to bring it to our attention. All they need to do is send a note to the jury bailiff, and then that will be made available to the judge if they do need any clarification. And she said they should be under no pressure to reach a verdict. And also, the last set of documents that were handed to them before she sent them out is then a jury guide to deliberations. She said this is a product of research or publications from previous members of jury who they did the research, and these were the findings, that the things which they need. So apart from the route to verdict and other stuff, they gave them these research findings which previous members of the jury gave when they were giving some questionnaires to answer. So, ladies and gentlemen, the jury is out. We don't know when they will come back. Of course, at the end of each day, if they don't reach a verdict today, there are 8 counts. Remember, 8 counts. Diezani faces about 6 of the counts, and Olatimbo and Ide faces 2 of those counts. Diezani's brother faces one part of the count, but 8 counts in all. So they take their time. When they reach a verdict, that is when we are going to come back. But for now, we cannot leave the building, because at any time, if they reach a verdict, all we are going to hear is that the jury has reached a verdict and everybody will have to rush back. But I reckon they might have some clarifications before they reach a verdict. But once again, as I mentioned earlier today, and that the judge said she was going to finish summing up her guidelines of everything she has to say about this case. She finished around past noon, and 12:28 exactly, the 12 members of jury, 4 men, 8 women, to decide whether Diezani goes on whether Olatimbo goes on, whether Bishop goes on, the 12 members of the jury have been sent out. So they're out. This case is no longer in anybody's hand. It's not in the hand of the judge. It's not in the hand of the defense team. It's not in the hand of the prosecution anymore. Of course, if they do require any clarifications, the jurors will always send a note. They are in the jury room now. Break time, they'll be allowed to go on break, of course, and in closing time. By the time we close at 4 today, if they have not reached a verdict, of course, the judge has said, okay, we discharge them and send them home. They come back tomorrow, return to the jury room to continue their deliberation. So everybody is a tense waiting time. This will be the longest waiting time for Diezani, for Olatimbo, and for the bishop, and for their teams, their support teams, because you don't know the jurors. And one thing I need to correct, in the morning I was saying, the judge repeated that if anybody did not give evidence, Olatimbo didn't give evidence, and also Bishop didn't give evidence, he said, if for the defendant who did not give evidence, it is up to the jury to decide whether to take this against them or not to take it against them. So the judge gave them that discretion. Those are part of the things where the judge said, you make your own assessment. He said, whether they should count it against them that they had no point or that they were just afraid to give evidence, that is up to you, jury. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll probably see you at the end of today. I don't think they're going to reach a verdict today because these are 8 counts. And in one count, some count have more than one charges. So, but any time, but at the end of the day, whatever the case, of course, I'll give you update tomorrow. But I doubt if the jury will quickly reach a verdict this afternoon. But they are out now. The case is dependent now on 4 men and the 12 and the 8 ladies to decide what happens, whether people's freedom are taken away. They are the ones to decide whether guilty or not guilty. It is those 12 people, it is the 12 members of the jurors, or the jury rather, that have been sent out that will determine the future, whether Diezani flies on, whether she's not, and whether Olatimbo goes home or not. So it is up to the jurors. So that is it where we are. At the end of the day, I'll probably give you an update or tomorrow morning, but the jury is out. We've had it many times. People use it in sentences, to make illustrations, but this is it. The jury for this case, they are out. I'll see you soon.